welcome to Talkin Shit with Ava Lisette. I am your host, Ava Lisette. Today is episode 13, I believe, which, funny enough, I'm recording this on Friday the 13th. So, that's a little bit scary, I'm not going to lie. We just had some full moon energy, and now it's Friday the 13th. So, keeping my fingers crossed that nothing fucking insane happens, all right? But I will not lie, I did have a little bit of a mental breakdown yesterday. Not fully. It was, I just kind of had a realization that I can't really ignore everything that's going on. You know what I mean? Last week we were talking about the circle of control, and I feel like I am still trying to focus on what I can and cannot control, right? That is a daily practice. It's not something that I'm definitely like advanced in by any means. But good Lord, I cannot stop thinking about the things that I can't control. You know what I mean? And even when putting it onto paper and saying these are the things that I can control, these are the things that I cannot, I feel like I still ruminate on the outside of the circle sometimes. But you know what? It's a journey. Mental health is a journey that we all have to go on. So that is my journey right now. So yeah, that's anxiety has been kind of kicking my booty just a little bit, but you know, we're doing our best. We're doing our best every single day. So yesterday, like I said, had a little bit of a mentee B, English, Jesus fucking Christ, a little bit of a mental breakdown, and then cried for a good hour and a half, and then slept for like 4 hours. I went to work, came home, had therapy, had an anxiety attack, went to sleep for like 4 hours, woke up around 4 or 5, and then after that I just felt drained, you know? And so I was like, okay, I need to just fucking focus on my mental health for the rest of the day. And so I decided to do a full moon ritual bath rather than just doing a regular full moon ritual. So last week I was talking about how during my full moon rituals, I'll go outside and I'll write everything down and I'll set these little pieces of paper on fire that has things that I want to get rid of. But this time around, I was like, no, I need to focus on loving myself and ridding myself of negative energy, and I need to do it in a way that is relaxing for me. Because though the full moon rituals that I usually do are relaxing, I feel like I needed to take it a step further. So earlier in the week, Tyler and I cleaned our bathroom. I'm not gonna lie, I was living in a little bit of a depression bathroom for a minute. And yeah, so that hold on. I just realized I didn't even fucking tell you guys about the new set. Are we like it? Are we fucking with the new set? I'm kind of fucking with it. I feel like this green does not match the green that's on here very well, but that's okay. It's fine. I feel like it's good enough. We still got a lot of green going on, especially with my cup here. So, yeah, anyway, sorry, got sidetracked. I totally forgot to mention that when I started. But anyway, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, so I cleaned my bathroom and finally just fully cleaned it out, right? And I took out all the trash. We moved the laundry because we used to have our hampers in the bathroom. Now those hampers are in our closet. And I feel like that just frees up so much space in the bathroom. And Tyler cleaned out the shower and he scrubbed the toilet, and I focused on my vanity area and making my vanity more organized. I still have to go in and kind of like declutter any stuff that I'm not using anymore. But getting the bathroom clean was something that I just feel like I needed for my mental health. And then after we were done cleaning, I took my Palo Santo and I just like cleansed the shit out of everything. And last night took a ritual bath. So in that ritual bath, I have everything written down that I used in there. I used some roses for like self-love, and then lavender also for like love, protection, that sort of thing. Bay leaves, I wrote my manifestations on my bay leaves and I crumpled them up and put them into my bath. And I sprinkled some cinnamon in there for abundance, Himalayan salt for protection. I put my crystals out. I think I did rose quartz, carnelian, obsidian, green aventurine, amethyst, lapis lazuli. I feel like there's one that I'm missing. But I want to say, was it red jasper? I think it might have been red jasper. Those were the ones that I put out all around my bath. And then I put out some candles. I put out some pink candles. I just got this beautiful red Capricorn candle that they sell here at Holistic Vibes, and lit that for the first time. So that was also very nice. And I had some snacks. Tyler made some really good snacks for me. It was grapes, bread, and olive oil and vinegar. That is my favorite fucking snack ever. Bread with some olive oil, especially like an infused olive oil. We did a rosemary one, and a good balsamic vinegar. It was so good. It was delicious. So I had that. I had some pretzels, a banana, and yeah, and that was what I was kind of like grazing on as I was taking my bath. Originally, I wanted to read Atomic Habits while I was in the bath because I am working on that. I think I just hit I think it was chapter 7, which is honestly kind of crazy because I did not think that I was that far into that book. But I'm pretty sure I'm on chapter 7. And I wanted to read that while I was in the bath, but I decided like I need to just focus on some meditation work. And so I sat there for, honestly, I don't even know how long because I have no concept of time. But I sat there and I closed my eyes and I focused on my breathing, and I was playing some healing frequencies while I was taking my bath and just focusing on my breath. And every time that my thoughts would go elsewhere, I would just bring it back into my breath and just kind of like, soaking in the tub. And I did a little bit of a bubble bath too. So it was just nice, like smelling everything, and it just felt so peaceful. And it was dark, very like ambient lighting because there were candles and stuff. And I have like this little Himalayan salt lamp, like a little plug-in nightlight that my friend Dan got for me. And I feel like that like kind of lit up the room a little bit more, but like with a nice deep like ambiance. So I just focused on my breathing, focused on meditating, and I felt so relaxed after that. Like after that bath, it just, oh my God, I feel like that's exactly what I needed to just like remind myself to like take care of myself. Like, yes, I do my skincare every single night. Yes, I take a good shower, but it's like I need to do extra things to focus on my self-care, and not just physically but like emotionally, spiritually. And I feel like I did all of that in this ritual bath. And as I was, washing myself, I was imagining, like I'm cleansing myself of negativity and negative energy and ridding myself of the things that no longer serve me. And that was, tied into the full moon ritual. And it was honestly just everything that I needed. I really, really fucking needed a good ritual bath, because I feel like since we moved into this new apartment, I don't take baths as often as I used to, because our last apartment had a really nice deep soaking tub, and this one, it's pretty shallow, so I kind of had to like scoot down so that I could get my chest covered. But I got tiggle bitties. I had to like push them down in order to get them underneath the water. And then when my chest was down into the water, then my knees were up, and then when I put my knees down, I was like only halfway into the water, and so it's a little bit harder to take like a full soak in that bath, but I feel like I still need to do it anyway. Like it is definitely worth it to just sit and just focus on mental health. And yeah, it was honestly everything that I fucking needed in that moment. But let's see, what else? Anxiety, worrying about every aspect of my life. Yeah, that was kind of what I was worrying about yesterday. My anxiety spiked because I was just like fucking thinking about every negative thing that is happening in my life all at once. And I was like, I don't know, like I feel like I kind of regressed back into that state of mind for a minute. And I just told Tyler, I was like, I just need to go to sleep. Like I feel like I'm exhausted, and that's causing me to not be able to think straight and to not be able to manage my emotions and my anxiety. I need to just sleep for a little while. And so I slept, and I caught up on some sleep because my insomnia has been so bad. And also during my ritual bath, I decided to watch this podcast episode of Diary of a CEO. I don't usually watch that podcast, but I have seen clips of it. But I had called my mom earlier in the day telling her that I was feeling really anxious, and she recommended watching that episode. And they were talking to a neuroscientist, I believe, who specifically studies sleep. And he was talking about all of the benefits of sleep, and I decided to watch that during the second half of my bath. First half was just meditation. Second half, I was like, okay, I want to watch something, and that was what I decided to watch. And I feel like it was very like informational, and I feel like it taught me a lot. I still haven't finished it because those podcast episodes are like 2 hours long. So I haven't finished that episode yet, but I'm probably gonna finish it today. But he's talking about how sleep really impacts like every part of your life, you know, and talking about like the evolutionary parts of sleep and how sleep is different between species and how humans need sleep. And how some people are morning people, some people are night people, and that's like a genetic thing. It's not really something that you get to choose. So that was also very interesting. Um, but I need to sleep a little bit more because, girl, I do not sleep. Like, I feel like I put off my sleep, and I was talking about this in my last episode. I put off my sleep because I don't want to think about anything. When I like right before I go to bed, that's like when my anxiety gets bad because I'm just thinking about everything. And then it all kind of feeds into each other, right? I'm anxious, so then I don't sleep. And then when I finally do go to bed, I have insomnia because I'm anxious. And then the next morning, I wake up, I have no sleep, and then I'm anxious again. And it just repeats this cycle over and over and over again of getting no sleep, being anxious, and then anxiety causing no sleep, blah, 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 blah. So I need to really focus on my sleep schedule. I need to start going to bed a little bit earlier and earlier every night and making sure that I'm getting a solid like 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Oh, excuse me. And I'm over here fucking yawning right now. Because I'm tired. I'm still tired. Like today, I wanted to wake up a little bit earlier because I have the day off. And usually on my days off, I'll sleep until like 1 p.m. But today, I really wanted to just fucking like sleep in. I couldn't wake up. And Tyler kept on trying to wake me up, poor thing. He was like, okay, babe, come on. Like, you said you wanted to get up at 10. It's already 11. And then I ended up not getting up until like 12. So I'm trying really hard to like work on sleeping a little bit better. But, you know, it comes day by day. Like, I gotta work on it every day. But anyway, I totally forgot to fucking do this and my fragrance of the day. I'm all over the place, okay? I'm not sleeping. So my brain is all over the place. I'm anxious. There's too many fucking things going on right now. But anyway, let's go into the fragrance of the day. Forgot to bring it with me. So, yeah. But I'm wearing Hypnotic Poison by Dior. I just got a new bottle because I just ran out. And the fragrance family is ambery, scent type is gourmand, keynotes are bitter almond, sambac jasmine, sambac? I don't know how to say that. Jasmine and vanilla. And it smells, oh, it's a very light gourmand, which is why I really like it for spring and summertime. And then I mixed it with my Nemat or Neme, I don't know how to pronounce it, amber. It's just like straight amber, and it's a oil that I put on. And then I put on the Hypnotic Poison over that. And because the Hypnotic Poison is an EDT, it doesn't stick as well. So I use a fragrance oil to kind of really help it stick and last a lot longer. So yeah, that's the fragrance of the day. Let's go ahead and get into the Oracle pull. But yeah, I what have we already talked about? I feel like my brain is wired. Like I don't even know what's happening right now. Because before this, I was editing my podcast for last week because I ended up not posting last Thursday. I had to post on Friday. Well, today. Because, like I said yesterday, very, very bad mental health day. So I was like, you know what? I need to just not worry about posting. I need to just worry about my mental health. I also need to get into a better habit of editing my podcast earlier in the week so that way I don't have to scramble and worry about it the day before I have to post it. I have gotten into a good habit of every Friday I come into my studio and I record, but I need to figure out a day that I'm usually free to figure out when I'm going to be editing because I don't know. I've also been thinking about like how does one procure an editor? How do I get somebody to edit my stuff? How much do you pay an editor? How does all of that work? Because I see so many content creators that are like they have editors and they talk about their editors and stuff like that, and I'm like, I need an editor, but I also don't think that I'm big enough to have an editor yet. You know, I've only got 55K on TikTok, which by the way hit 55K. And then on Instagram, I just hit like 26K, which is really cool. But I don't know. I feel like I need to get an editor because I just feel like my brain is so scrambled, and I feel like it would be nice to just kind of be able to offload that onto somebody else and pay somebody else to do it for me. But, oh, what the fuck? I got azurite again. Isn't this exactly what I got last week? Interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and read it again, even though we already know what it is. Azurite. Each in-breath creates a space within you and expectant stillness. Azurite holds the energy of this empty fullness. It is not the container, but the space contained, not the walls of the womb, but the emptiness within. This void is the most precious of gifts because in this emptiness, in the pause at the crossroads of time and space, your intuition can soar. Once space is created, stuck energies begin to flow. Oh my God, Ava. Jesus fucking Christ, can you read? You've been reading every day. You should be better at this by now. Funneling through heaviness, creating a place for something more daring or delicate than everyday life. Azurite holds you as you behold this void so you can feel the rich ocean of possibilities in which you are swimming. Breathe in the blue and allow the fullness of the emptiness to elevate your spirit. So again, since I got this twice, I really feel like this is telling me to make space for that emptiness a little bit more. I feel like I need to spend more time alone with my thoughts, which, again, scary feeling. But I really do think that there's a lot of things that I need to address with my mental health because I feel like I'm trying really hard not to just like compartmentalize it, but I don't know. I feel like maybe that's a Capricorn thing because I feel like Capricorns are always talking about compartmentalization. But I feel like I really need to focus on each thing one at a time and not just offload everything that's going on all at once in therapy and then just, kind of moving on with my day and only saving it for the days that I have therapy. Like, I feel like that's something that I need to focus on and I need to work on because there's so many things. There's childhood healing that I need to do. There's emetophobia healing that I need to do. There's just so many different things. But I was talking to the ladies here at Holistic Vibes about possibly doing Reiki because they have a bunch of Reiki practitioners here, and I think I really want to try Reiki out. I don't know much about Reiki. All I know from what my sister has told me is it just feels like an energetic cleanse. It feels like a spiritual massage. And I feel like I kind of need that a little bit. I've been wanting to focus more on my spirituality a little bit more because I feel like when I am focused on my spirituality, I feel like I'm a lot healthier mentally. I feel like I'm focusing on the things that I need to focus on. I'm working on healing and growing, and I need to put more time and attention on that. But Azurite, I feel like maybe I need to get some Azurite, and maybe that might help me a little bit with that journey. Something else that I also wanted to talk about was my insomnia and the dreams that I've been having, and that's another big reason I feel that I am avoiding sleep is because I have been having these very vivid nightmares, and I've had vivid nightmares since I was a kid. And maybe it could be my Pisces moon because Pisces are very like in tune with the spiritual world, and we're like daydreamers, But I feel like my nightmares are so vivid that sometimes I can't differentiate them from reality. And a lot of the times when I'm in my dreams, I don't realize that it doesn't become a nightmare until I realize that I'm in a dream. I don't know if that makes any sense, but a lot of the times I wake up into a new dream over and over and over again. And at each time that I wake up, it's because I'm trying to wake myself up, right? So say I'm having a dream and I'm just living my everyday life. It feels normal. Like I said, I can smell things, I can taste things, like if I'm eating something, I can feel things, like all of my senses I feel are very like involved in my dreams, and that's why I really can't differentiate a lot of them from reality sometimes. So I will have a dream where I'm just walking around doing whatever, and then something will be off, like just the slightest thing will be just a little bit different. And even if it's just the energy that's off, like it feels like something has entered my dream and it feels like there's someone there, there's someone watching, but I can't see them out of my peripheral vision, if that makes sense. I don't even know how to describe that. Like, I really hope that this makes any fucking sense. And if anybody knows how to analyze dreams, for the love of God, tell me what's happening, because I need to know what is happening in my brain right now. But I will have this feeling that something is there. And once I get that feeling, I panic. And that is when I start to try to wake myself up. And I feel like in a way I almost kind of have this like sleep paralysis, but I don't know if it's actually sleep paralysis, because I've always thought sleep paralysis is you're awake, but you can't move. Like you're physically paralyzed and you can't move. But once I realize it's a dream, then I feel like I'm stuck. I'm stuck and I'm trying to wake myself up and I'm trying to scream. I'm trying to move, but I can't. And then I'll wake up into another dream, and that dream will be where I'm laying in my bed and think that I'm awake, but I'm not, until something happens. And then I realize that I'm dreaming, and then I freak out, and then I try to wake myself up again. And I feel like once I'm finally back in reality, I kind of have to like check my surroundings. Like, okay, am I good? Am I here? Am I really here? Like, pinch me. You know what I mean? And usually a lot of the times I'm kind of like grounded, and I realize that I'm back in reality when I can see my pets. I feel like my pets are very rarely in my dreams. So I feel like once I see one of my pets like by my feet or just running around, that I'm like, oh, thank God. Okay, I'm here. I'm back in reality. Like I'm living again, you know? I don't know. It is such a weird feeling. And the other night I had this really, really vivid nightmare where, again, felt like reality. Woke up from another dream into another dream, looked around my room, and I was like, something slightly felt off, but not the off that it usually feels, right? So I go to turn around to like, talk to Tyler, because this was during a daytime nap. And Tyler and I were napping together, so I turned around to say something to Tyler. And trigger warning, there was a dead person, a dead white man, with, he almost looked like he was like electrocuted. You know what I mean? Like, you know how like in movies and TV shows, like when somebody's like shocked or something, like their eyes just go white and their hair goes white and their hair kind of looks like shocked or whatever. That was kind of the look that he had. And I turn over and I see this dead man. And when I turn over, he falls on top of me. Like he flips on top of me. And his eye is like right next to mine. And I am screaming. I'm trying to wake myself up. I'm trying so hard to just like get away from the situation. I can't move. I'm stuck there. And finally I wake up and I'm in a cold sweat. My heart is fucking pounding. And I turn to Tyler and I tell him that I just had like this horrible nightmare. And I tell Tyler, like, I need you to hold my hand, because he has noticed when I've taken naps or just when I've been asleep, like I start squirming or like, I look uncomfortable in my sleep. And I've told him, I'm like, dude, if you see me looking uncomfortable in my sleep, wake me up. Like, you need to wake me up if you can tell that I'm like tossing and turning. I'm trying to wake up. But he's like, but I don't want to wake you up. Like, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, I understand. I know. I get it. You're adorable. You're amazing. And you don't want to wake me up because you want me to get some sleep. But please, for the love of God, wake me the fuck up, because I need to be woken up. I'm terrified right now. I need to be awake. But I started telling him, like, hold my hand while we're sleeping. And if you feel me squeezing your hand, if you feel my hand moving, wake me up. You need to wake me up. But then after that, I fell asleep, and then I wasn't, I didn't have any more nightmares. Excuse me. But there also have been times where, like, we are laying next to each other, and I have a nightmare where he is holding my hand and he doesn't wake me up, but I think it's just because he's fallen asleep himself. So I don't know. I just feel like I need a better way to control my dreams. And I feel like I was doing okay for a little while, because I started taking the sleep medication that my psychiatrist prescribed to me. But I've been taking that for about a year now, and I think now that it's been a year, I feel like my body's kind of adjusted to it. I'm only taking 15 milligrams, so I feel like I need to like up the dosage, but I need to make an appointment with my psychiatrist in order to do that, because I would not feel safe just upping the dosage by myself. So I need to make an appointment with my psychiatrist. That's something that I've kind of been putting off. So somebody remind me to do that. But I need to make an appointment so that I can, get on some good sleep medication and just not have these fucking nightmares anymore, man. Like, I'm so sick and tired of it. And I feel like it's causing even more insomnia, because even when I sleep, I don't feel rested. because like I said, like in my dreams, I'm trying to wake myself up. So I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm running on empty right now. Like I just have no energy any day, but I'm still trying to work and be productive through not having motivation to do so, because I've been learning, like through Atomic Habits and stuff like that, like it's not about motivation, it's about just showing up, like even when you don't want to do it. Motivation is just like, motivation is fleeting, so you know, like you have to do it even when you don't want to, and I'm trying really really hard to do things when I don't want to do them. But it's hard when you're just physically fucking exhausted, so I need to work on that. I need to work on that a little bit more, and I'm really, today I want to try to really focus on just getting to bed, like going to bed early. I've been going to bed on average around 1 or 2 in the morning, and then on the days that I have off, sometimes 3 or 4. So waking up at 5 when you don't go to bed until 2 is really fucking hard to do. But also through the podcast that I was talking about earlier, the Diary of a CEO, where he was talking with, I forget his name. I'll add a photo. But when he was talking about sleep, he had mentioned that if you have insomnia, the worst possible thing that you can do is nap during the day. And I was like, oh, okay, well, seems like I've been doing it fucking wrong. He was talking about if you don't have insomnia, if you don't struggle with falling asleep, that you can take like a 20-minute nap, right? A 20-minute nap is around like a perfect time for you to like get that boost, feel re-energized. But for me, it's very hard for me to take a 20-minute nap. Like a lot of the times, even if I set an alarm for like an hour, I'll end up sleeping for like 3 or 4. Excuse me, I'm fucking over here yawning again. See, I'm fucking tired. I'm exhausted. But I'm still doing the damn thing because I need to, okay? But anyway, what the fuck was I just talking about? So in Diary of a CEO, he's talking about how if you have insomnia, you shouldn't be taking naps during the day, because I can't remember exactly how he phrased it, but it's essentially like you're getting tired throughout the day, right? And if you take a nap in the middle of the day, then you're going to be re-energized. You're going to have energy for the rest of the day. You kind of need to build up the sleepiness all throughout the day in order to get a good night's rest. And I feel like I've tried, oh my fucking god, I can't stop yawning. I've tried a couple different times, if I'm really tired, to like, if I stayed up all night, to just, you know, power through the whole day and just get to the end of the day, go to bed early. But I end up not going to bed early because first, I feel like I really am a night owl. Like I feel like I've always just been able to function better at night. I'm more productive at nighttime. Like, I don't know, like during the day, I like to go out and do things, you know, like I like to experience things in the sunlight. But I feel like at night, that's when I'm more motivated to post things, right? Like to post on TikTok and on Instagram, and to just do so many different things. I enjoy being a night owl, but it's hard to be a night owl when my job has me waking up at 5 in the morning. So I feel like my sleep schedule is just all out of whack. And I would love to be the type of person that goes to bed early and then wakes up early and goes to the gym in the morning and, you know, gets all of these daily practices out of the way in the morning. But I feel like I'm able to do my daily practices in the evening. It is very hard for me to just get up and exercise. I feel like I exercise better later on in the day because I feel like showering at night feels better than showering in the morning. Because I like to get into bed clean, if that makes sense. So I feel like doing everything at night just feels a lot better. I don't know. I maybe just genetically I'm one of those people who is a night owl. But he said it is genetic, so that could be what it is. What the fuck else did I want to talk about today? I honestly can't remember. Talked about my ritual bath, talked about sleep, anxiety, dreams, insomnia. I honestly feel like I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about today. I don't remember what else I wanted to talk about. But tomorrow, since, like I said, I'm recording this on the 13th, tomorrow is June 14th, which means it's President Cuck's birthday. And it's also going to be the No Kings protest. So I will be going to the No Kings protest. And hopefully, it is going to stay peaceful and the, fucking police don't cause shit like they've been doing in LA. Um, I really, I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I am a little anxious to be at a protest, especially right now with all of like the heightened aggression and emotion, coming from everybody. Like everybody's angry, everybody's sad, everybody's there's just a lot of feelings happening right now, but also like liberation at the same time. I want to go out and I want to go fight and I want my voice to be heard, by protesting. And I know that there are a lot of people that are unable to protest, so I want to protest on behalf of those who cannot. But I am anxious, like I really am. But I do feel like because I'm going to be in Corona, so I feel like it's going to be a little less I feel like the police here are a little less aggressive. Like I know in LA they're very aggressive. I know in Anaheim they're very aggressive, Riverside even. But I feel like I haven't heard much about Corona PD being awful, but ACAB. So, it's just I don't know. I am a little bit nervous to do this. But I am also excited because, like I said, I really want to protest for myself on behalf of others. And I think it's very, very important to exercise our right to protest. So I'm going to be doing that tomorrow with Tyler. I think tomorrow, I can't wait to see what it's going to look like from all angles because it's happening all over the country. And I can't wait to see how many of us stand up and go protest for our country because I am not proud to be an American right now, but I really wish I was. I really wish that I could be proud of where I'm from, but especially with this administration or regime that's fucking going on right now. It's hard. It is very, very hard to be proud of this country. But all that we can do is fight everything that's happening, and I want to be a part of that fight. But anyway, that's what I'm planning on doing tomorrow, and hopefully everything goes well and we're able to keep it peaceful because honestly, the protesters are usually the ones keeping it peaceful, let's be real. And it doesn't turn into something else until the police start to incite shit, or the troops start to incite shit, but hopefully it's not going to be like that. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed, manifesting it. We're manifesting that it stays positive and that, despite everything, we build this sense of community around us. And that's really all that I want. But you never know. You never know what's going to happen. I'm going to do my best to keep myself as protected as possible. I'm probably going to be wearing a mask and sunglasses. And I've heard that you're not supposed to wear like identifiable clothing and you're supposed to like hide like tattoos. You basically just don't want to be identifiable. So I'm probably going to be doing that. I'm going to make a sign. I don't know what I want my sign to say yet, but, I have no idea. I'm probably going to make my sign today. Last week I made, today I'm posting my podcast from last week today, but, I did mention what's happening with ICE and and all of that. That's just, every time I think about it, it just fucking breaks my heart. It's despicable what ICE is doing. But I will leave the same resource link that I left in last week's episode in this week's episode, for anybody who may not have seen last week's. And basically it is a link spreadsheet that has links to different things, to different resources that you can use if you know somebody that's been detained, how to know your rights, things like that. So with that, I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about this week. Please stay safe. Honestly, I feel like that's really all that we can do. Please stay safe. Protect yourself, protect your loved ones as much as possible. Stand up for others who can't stand up for themselves. That's very important. But I think that's everything that I want to talk about this week. I know that this is a little bit of a shorter episode. I feel like ever since I've been in this studio, I've been able to make almost hour-long episodes, but this one, roughly around 30, 40 minutes. So a little bit shorter, but like I said, I'm tired. I'm very tired. And I want to go home. I want to work on my protest sign. I want to finish my daily practices, upload my podcast for last week, and just, get to bed early. That's really what I got to focus on this week. But anyway, the tracks of the week, or earbuds. Jesus fucking Christ, Ava. Speak English. What are we doing? Oh my God. Brain function is just not, the brain is not functioning. English. Ava, what are we doing? Anyway. God. Airbuds recap. I feel like the tired is really hitting me right now. Airbuds recap. Tracks of the week. The Drug in Me Is You by Falling Universe. I know how we all feel about Ronnie Radke right now, but that album is fucking amazing. The Drug in Me Is You by Falling Universe. Knives and Pens by Black Veil Brides. You already know. I've been listening to like my emo playlist recently. And God, I fucking love that song. I love Andy Biersack. I love Andy Biersack. I love him so much. A Trophy Father's Trophy Son by Sleeping with Sirens. Paraphernalia by Pierce the Veil. Hold On Till May by Pierce the Veil. Hold On Till May is... That song literally got me through May. I'm not even gonna fucking lie. I started listening to that again after May, and I was like, after having such a rough month, I was like, oh God, this feels amazing. It really does. But anyway, Collide with the Sky was the album of the week by Pierce the Veil. Also, I'm still debating it because I'm trying to figure out if I can, if I have the extra income for it. But if I have the extra income, I am going to see Pierce the Veil on July 1st. So we're keeping our fingers crossed because I am trying to be very intentional with my money right now, and I need to make sure to, pay my bills, put it into my business. But I really want to see Pierce the Veil, and Sleeping with Sirens is going to be playing with them, which means that they're probably going to do King for a Day together. And I really want to see Pierce the Veil because they're not going to be playing at When We Were Young, and I'm going to When We Were Young in October. And Sleeping with Sirens will be there, but Pierce the Veil won't. And I was like, I really feel like this year I got really back into Pierce the Veil. Because when I was in my emo phase, when I was younger, I liked Pierce the Veil. I only really knew a couple songs, though, and I maybe listened to their albums, once through. But I never, took, a deep, deep dive on, their entire discography. And I've just been listening to everything on repeat, and I'm just like, oh my God, Pierce the Veil is so fucking good. And I really, for my younger self and for my current self, I really want to go see them. So keeping my fingers crossed, I'm going to manifest it. I'm going to go see Pierce the Veil on July 1st at the Kia Forum. But yeah, keeping my fingers crossed that I'm going to be able to go see Pierce the Veil. They were also my top artist of this week. So number 1, and then number 2 was Kublai Khan TX, and number 3 was Emil and the Sniffers. So it actually tells you, I don't usually mention this part when I'm doing the recap, but it tells you how many listens and how many minutes you've listened to each artist. So Pierce the Veil was 51 listens, and I don't know if that is 51 songs or just 51 listens in general, and 204 minutes I spent listening to Pierce the Veil. Kublai Khan TX was 22 listens and 53 minutes, and Emil and the Sniffers was 19 listens and 53 minutes. That's kind of interesting. I feel like the Emil and the Sniffers, I still really like Emil and the Sniffers, but I feel like that hyperfixation was a little short-lived. Some of my hyperfixations on music last a very long time, and some only last a couple weeks, or a week or two. That means a couple weeks, Ava. What are you saying? But anyway, I would say my longest ones was Beer Bongs and Bentleys by Post Malone. I'm not kidding you. That was my longest hyperfixation of all time. That album I was listening to for most of the second half of high school and a lot of after high school, and then I went into my Hamilton phase. I had a Hamilton phase hardcore. And Tyler, he jokes about it so much because I was deep in my Hamilton phase when I met Tyler. And so every time he hears Hamilton, it just it reminds me too. It reminds me of when we first met and our relationship, when it first started. So I don't know, it makes me a little bit that's so cute. But yeah, I've had a lot of different hyperfixations. I don't know what the next one's going to be. We will see. We will know in the Airbuds recap, but mostly at work I've been listening to The Law of Attraction Changed My Life with Francesca Amber, because I don't know if I've mentioned this in a previous episode, but at work, my mind kind of wanders when I'm just listening to music that I've already listened to. And I'm able to kind of control my thoughts a little bit better when I'm listening to a podcast, rather than just music. So, yeah, but that's pretty much all that I have for you guys this week. Yeah, that's all. I don't know what else to say. So anyway, I'm beautiful, you're beautiful, we're all beautiful, and have a good day. Bye.